Welcome to the Moonshot Podcast, the podcast where we explore business growth, inspire innovative marketing strategies, and explore the world of company culture. Now here are your hosts, serial entrepreneurs and best-selling authors, James Philip Arbuckle and Kane Carpenter.
You know, if you're driving down the street and you see a yellow M, what do you think of?
McDonald's.
Or if you see like the green logo, doesn't have to say Starbucks on it, you just know it's Starbucks, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see black pants and a red shirt,
It's Tiger on Sunday.
it's Tiger, right? And you know, all things come to an end, right? But you think about that red shirt and the Nike logo, like there's probably many things in golf that you could say, you know, okay, those pants or this person, or but I don't know, there's many things that are more iconic than Tiger in a red shirt with the Nikes. You know,
I agree.
That's Tiger Woods. And are you shocked by the news?
Shocked is maybe not the right word. I was surprised, but also not surprised, right? Like Tiger's not as relevant, say, as he was, years ago. But then, I think of Michael Jordan and how that's kind of an enduring thing that Nike's hung on to. So I don't know why Tiger would not fall in the same bucket.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I hear about Jordan now is when he's on the back of his Viking boat bringing in a fish or something. Like, not really relevant in anything, but hell, how many Jordans is he selling right now?
Right.
That brand's insane. But this is more of a sign, from what I read, and who knows if what I read's true, but this is more of a sign of Nike pulling out of golf more than it is Tiger.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Do you think golf's on a downturn? Is it on an upswing? Like, where do you see golf going?
I mean, without looking at the data, I think it is probably on a downswing. I know, like when I used to pay attention, that kind of the number of participants in the sport was down. So there was this big push, at least call it 5 years ago, to like try and get people to play. And it was like, okay, maybe we'll push more 9-hole rounds and not tie people up for 5 hours. And I think the other thing that golf suffers from too, which is why it's kind of surprising that Nike would separate from Tiger, is that there aren't stars the way there used to be. Right? Like I think the last great enduring star to come through would be like a Rory McIlroy. So Tiger is still, maybe irrelevant on the playing side, but still relevant from a like a character in the game kind of thing, because they're few and far between. So I think you're probably onto something when you say that this is Nike pulling out of golf, because they pulled out of clubs years ago.
Yeah.
Right. And like they really only do apparel now. And how many people are buying apparel? I don't know.
I mean, how many people are buying golf apparel? Go back, Rory's a star, but when I think of, on a scale of 1 to 10, if Tiger was 100 in terms of a golf star, where's Rory?
50. Oh, 5. Yeah. I don't know. That's not even close.
It's, and to be honest, if I bet if you had a tournament somewhere and you had a foursome, and that foursome was Mickelson, Tiger Woods, John Daly, and throw somebody else in there, it would probably beat the numbers of any other golf thing going on.
Yeah, true.
It's not the best golf, but these are they're older and they wouldn't win, but that's what you would want. It's what you want to see. And it's almost like we don't have personalities anymore. Tiger was just so good personality, you just wanted to watch, right? It's but I think maybe golf is suffering from it. I think Liv was trying to they probably saw that there was a weakness somewhere, material weakness in golf. And they're like, okay, maybe we can find an angle in here to get things reinvigorated or to get the younger crowd in. And there was a period of time when I was watching golf courses kind of dry up around here. And some of the country clubs were having issues with keeping their base up. COVID came, everyone started golfing again because you could do it outdoors. And so there was like that 18-month boom of golf. And then it's kind of, I think it's starting to trickle off again a little bit.
Yeah.
Even in tennis, I feel like participants in tennis, the young kids aren't signing up as much as they used to. And you got everyone's jumping on pickleball right now. Is Nike gonna go pickleball? I don't know.
Nike pickleball.
But yeah, when was the last time where you at like a Carl's or something, like a big golf shop?
Oh, it's been a while.
So like, if I go to Carl's, it doesn't look like the golf stores of 20 years ago. There's Ghost Golf, and then there's like all these. There's Vessel, and then there's the good something, and there's so many like golf brands now. Who's the one shoes I bought? You said you knew the
G4.
that stuff. Like, but and then they had like more couture type of golf clothes.
Yeah.
It went from just being Callaway polos to, merino wool sweaters, and there's so much new swag out there from all these different companies now, and I'm guessing that they ate up a lot of that market that Nike used to go after.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I know the golf brands have been around, but it's really changed in 15 years, the amount of like nice clothing and shoes options that have come out. That you can literally just fill a store with almost premium stuff. And now if Nike's just out there trying to fight for $50 polos, Kane, there's Under Armour, there's Callaway, everyone's got a flipping polo. So
it's fair, yeah, true.
Shrinking market, shrinking user base in golf, and an extreme amount of pressure from brands that, to be honest, are just cooler than you. And maybe it's just time to pull out, I guess.
Can I make a prediction?
Of course.
This is within, I don't know, let's call it by the end of the year, Woods joins Live.
I was thinking he's going to start his own line, but
oh, that's interesting too.
I guess I don't know what his brand power is these days, but maybe he's going to have to sell his own fucking polo shirts. I don't know. I mean, I think he owns his logo. I think wherever he goes, his logo goes with him.
Got it. I see.
From what I understand, I don't think Nike owns that. If you're like a unknown person, a lot of times I think you end up signing contracts where you sign away your likeness for life. My guess is he was so powerful that he gets to walk away with his likeness and his logo. But I wouldn't be surprised by your prediction.
I mean, it would be interesting. Would be interesting.
I think some of those guys really try to stay loyal, and that for Tiger, that check might just be too big.
I mean, there's definitely. I mean, I don't pay too much attention, but I did see an interview with Rory McIlroy recently, and even his tone around Liv has changed, and I think a lot of that, it was catalyzed by Jon Rahm joining Liv. So
that was a tipping point.
That I think so, and they had like their little feud with the PGA, and then the PGA Tour did a strategic partnership, right, with the Saudi Wealth Fund. So like I think there's a lot of stuff happening at the minute that just these guys that were fighting in the corner probably aren't going to fight, and I think Woods and McIlroy are the two that were fighting hard. But if Woods is not tied to Nike, then that means he can take on a franchise and Live. and sell that apparel or whatever. So again, it would like you said, it wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden that happens.
And the moves are going to be made.
Yeah, something.
And maybe whatever the model of live golf isn't going to be sustainable. But at the same time, it's if they want to stay relevant with the way the new generation, like something's going to have to be done. So I'm curious to see, like, golf is going to change whether people like it or not. And I don't mind it the way it is. I just don't think over the next 15 years, as people, get too old to play or die off, and then this next generation comes up, it's if you want to keep a user base, you're going to have to probably do. You see, in all sports, kind of do that, right? It's baseball said it's taken too long, so they tried to make the game faster. Like, some things worked for a while, but you are seeing a lot of the different sports kind of change. We want to be entertained, but we don't want to spend 5 hours getting entertained.
That's the point. I think we live in the generation of 60-second entertainment, right? So golf is like the one standout to me in terms of what happens within 60 seconds on a golf course. It's any interest, right? Like, in that time you can watch Steph Curry shoot 3-pointers, you can watch LeBron James dunk, or you can watch Ohtani hit a home run. You can't do anything in 60 seconds on a golf course that's interesting on social media, which means young people are just not going to attach to it at all.
It's also something that as far as playing the game, it takes a while to get good at it, and it does take time and effort and some money. And I just don't know that we're looking for things that we can go play pickleball and we don't have to spend a tremendous amount of time perfecting that craft to go have fun.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I would even say tennis is that way, right? You have to play a certain amount of tennis before it's enjoyable, or at least for the other person that's playing against you. And we don't want to put the effort into that stuff. So you can see where, there's dodgeball leagues and kickball leagues, and then we're going pickleball. Like, there's things that are we're not gonna take years to get good at a sport, for example. I don't think golf dies. I just think if it might have to change a little bit, especially if you want to keep selling ad dollars.
Right.
But again, like, put an hour special on TV where it's, I'm not saying Daly even belongs in the conversation. I don't know, is he even playing? I guess if you had Daly, Mickelson, and Tiger playing for $100,000 a hole, I'm watching. Like, sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
They did, Nike did stick with him through all the BS, so I got to give him credit for that.
Mm-hmm. They did.
He had some ups and downs, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's true, actually, and so that's why I'd be really interested to know kind of which side, if this is a Nike thing or if this is a Tiger thing.
They're probably just not making a tremendous amount of money on it. And then, I mean, hell, I don't know. When's the last time you even seen Tiger Woods apparel anyway? I don't know.
It's been a while. You're right.
You got his son coming up, right?
Oh, interesting. So, yeah, that's true.
Does that, maybe he's going to go all in on his son, assuming his son is anything of what Tiger was. There's obviously more at play here, but let's just say Tiger wants $50 million a year to put his name on Nike stuff, and then Nike's just like, it's not worth it.
Right.
And then Tiger's saying, well, it's not worth any less for me, because if I'm not tied to you, then I can go do all these other things where I probably can get the $50 million. So,
right.
It's not like Jordan, man, where new pair of J's come out and they're sold out in 10 seconds. And then hell, does StockX even exist if it wasn't for Jordans?
That's a great point. Yeah.
It's a whole ecosystem. I don't know, it's golf. It's Tiger. It was powerful, but it was never what like Jordan's was. At some point that fades out, right?
Yeah. I mean, it does in a way feel kind of like the end of an era, right? Like, and it's You just it makes you realize like, oh, I'm getting older too. Because I remember Tiger in his heyday, and you think like that'll never end, and it's definitely ended now.
Actually, I remember watching Agassi, and I enjoyed watching Agassi so much. And then it's like, oh, he's hanging it up. Thankfully we had like Federer and the Dow come through, and then Djokovic, but
Yeah,
it's you're not, who is really taking over that starlight that Tiger had? I don't know if anyone in golf has.
yeah, it's a fair point.
You had Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron. Like, I don't watch basketball, but I don't know, is there anyone that's LeBron's probably like 50 now or something. I don't know. He's got to be getting up there. Is there anyone that's even talked about?
The Greek guy.
Yeah, obviously I don't watch basketball, so there's like this lack of star power, and then it's a mixture of like, well, they got to be great and then have some charisma too, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, like or so great you don't even need charisma. And Federer wasn't the most animated person on the planet, but watching him play was like,
It's also a sponsor's dream, Federer.
yeah, no joke, right? I don't know, does golf have that personality right now? Who's the long drive? The guy that drives like 400 something
Bryson
Bryson
DeChambeau, yeah.
Champ, like, it's. Can you get some buzz around these people?
I don't know. We're talking about like Tiger Woods here, and that was just a complete enigma. I mean, so many things that just went like who he is, his background, how damn good he was at golf. Just so many things. It's just a tough act to follow.
That's what I often say about, I throw a Super Bowl party. There's 25 people there. There's 5 that actually know what the hell's going on the field. And the other 20 people are there for just to watch, right? And you realize there's very few purists out there that are, oh my God, you see the way he puts a draw on that ball? Like, most people watching golf don't care. But they do appreciate watching someone that's that good.
Yeah.
And if we don't have people that's that good trying to get the casual anyone to watch golf, not likely. Or I go back to throw a thing on with Mickelson, Daly, and Tiger playing, and you're going to get a whole bunch of people to watch. And you see how much just like personality and how invested we get into people, how much that matters. And that'll matter more than someone that's pretty good right now. But if they ain't got nothing special about them, it's hard to get people to tune in.
The other aspect too, I guess we haven't talked about it, is like the global aspect. Like I grew up in Asia, and that was right around Tiger's kind of heyday. And Tiger, like if you asked anybody about golf, so that was when golf was also taking off in Asia. We're building lots of golf courses, doing this kind of thing. Tiger Woods was the only character. There was nobody else. And so I'd be interested to know. I mean, like this deal is independent of what's happening there, but like what does golf look like from a growth standpoint in the rest of the world? Because we like the kind, like the made for TV kind of daily, that kind of stuff over here just doesn't. There's no resonance out there, at least in my opinion. So what happens now, right? Like what happens to Nike in Asia? It's probably already been declining, but I'm just interested to know what that all looks like, because he literally was the only character, and he single-handedly probably drove a ton of the growth of golf in that region.
And not just that region, but globally. I mean,
globally, yeah.
He inspired a whole generation to want to go play golf.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there's not really that next person to come kind of carry that torch. And
no.
One day there will be, but there's these people that go do great things that just get people like, man, I want to do that. I want to feel that. I want to experience that. And man, where do you even get that anymore? Is there someone like in the NFL that's just, Tyreek Hill's ridiculous to watch now that I think about it. They don't really watch football. Tennis, Djokovic is, but he's also mid-30s now.
Right.
So it's like, there's some names, but, is there the next dominant player coming up that that you wanted to watch? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're almost suffering across all sports of these people that just carried the torch. And hell, hockey. I don't know. Last time I heard like a name ring out in hockey. Like, back in the day, it was Yzerman and Gretzky and like hell.
Yeah, you do feel like if you think about the 90s and maybe the 2000s to the 2000s, we did live through kind of this heyday of sport, huh? Like either the marketers during that time were geniuses and were able to make sport interesting. But I mean, you even think of like F1, the characters, the Schumachers, the Raikkonens in that time. Tennis, right? The only tennis players I know are the ones that you just mentioned, Nadal, Federer, the golfers of that time, the hockey players, the basketball players of that time, the Jordans. We lived through a heyday, for sure.
I also don't watch that many sports, so I'm sure there's a sports person out there. It's like, you're missing this person and this person, you idiot. And it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
I also just reeled off the 7 sports people that I know, as if I know what I'm talking about.
I don't watch, but there's, even if you weren't into it, when someone's big, it's everywhere.
Right.
And like it feels like that's fleeting in a sense. And, maybe even a UFC fighter is like when Conor McGregor was on top. Even if you didn't watch UFC, the dude was everywhere.
Right.
And it's these polarizing people that maybe it's short lived and they're on top for a while, or if you had a long run like Tiger, these are the people that are carrying the sport sometimes. They might not even be the best, but they're carrying the sport because they're a particular person. And was Mickelson that great?
He's very, very good.
He had a run, right? But people love watching him.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things.
He's a character.
He's a character, and that's what I go down to sometimes. I say you would probably get more viewerships. Like, people would have more fun watching this group of characters play good golf than to watch a bunch of the other guys that are the great ones, but they're boring.
Right.
And it's, if you're just pure on the sport, I understand you want to watch the better stuff, but if you're a casual person that treats sports as entertainment, I would rather watch Mickelson and John Daly talk shit over $1,000 putts. I don't know.
Yeah. Bring back the characters.
Bring back the characters, man. And you feel like everyone's just boring anymore?
I mean, we could
Not
be a whole
everybody.
other episode, but like the reasons why, for sure, absolutely.
It's like originality, something. I don't know. Was Tiger Woods that, like, he was pretty even keel, if I remember right? He wasn't outlandish. He wasn't Happy Gilmore, right? Like,
the things that I at least like, when he's a PR person's dream. I mean, he was half Asian, half African American, superb at what he did, right? Like, just so many things going for him.
I'm trying to think of like the old people I watched. Like, was it Chichi Rodriguez or something? Jack Nicholson. Like, there's these guys back then that, I don't know, maybe they just carried it different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll see what happens in golf, and we'll come back December 31st and do another episode and see if Tiger joined LIV or not.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll catch you.